Is there a specific challenge that comes with the work you do?
There are lots of challenges, but I would say the one that probably affects me the most is the idea of work-life balance. And the more that I'm in this industry, the more that I've come to realize that that is not a real thing. And saying that sounds a little bit pessimistic, and that's not meant to be the case. What that to me means is you have to be able to learn and understand that you work when you have to work, and when you don't have to work, you enjoy your life and you live as much as you can. And there are going to be absolutely times when the scale is tipped in the side of the restaurant, and when you don't have to tip it in that way, you have to be able to know how to take time for yourself and for your family. I've been a part of probably 15 or so restaurant openings, and restaurant openings specifically are very intense. It's a lot of work. It requires a lot of attention, a lot of time. I've talked to my wife about how it's not only I'm not only married to her, but I'm also married to the industry. You do truly have to devote a lot of yourself to this. It's a very selfless job, but it's something that I truly feel passionate about.
Why the hospitality industry?
I was born overseas. I was born in Saudi Arabia. My brother and sister were born in Italy. My family is Greek. I grew up in Indonesia. And so throughout my experiences in my life, every country I went to and everywhere I went, getting to sit down at a table and enjoy the food and speak with the people, that's really how you got to know someone's culture. And again, I joked with you earlier, a Greek named Nick in restaurants is very typical, I suppose. But you know, it's that moment when you see a guest take that first bite of food and they close their eyes and they nod their head up and down like, yes, this is what I've been wanting. You know, we're not saving lives other than potentially with allergies, but we're not changing the world. But it's a moment where you can connect with people. It's a moment where you can impact their day, sometimes in a small way, but also sometimes in a more meaningful, larger way as well.
Is there a particular food item you eat that is embarrassing?
I wouldn't say embarrassing. No, I have no allergies. I have no food aversions. I don't have any dietary restrictions. Like I'll eat fast food any day of my life. I will go out to go out to 11 Madison Park and enjoy three-star Michelin restaurants, but I will also eat a $1 taco. So food is food, and I love it all.
Is there anything of importance that you would like to share with us?
I suppose right now, where we are with being post-pandemic, or as we are starting to open up from COVID and from the restrictions, just to keep in mind that the hospitality industry was rocked. And so even though the guests coming in are coming in for that moment of escape for themselves, also to keep in mind that the staff themselves are stressed often and overworked and very often underpaid as well. And so although the hospitality is from the business to the guests, I think that just on a human level, that being hospitable should be reciprocated, and it shouldn't just go one way. And that's just a way to live.
What does playing with yourself mean to you?
Playing with yourself?
Yes.
Well, as a Greek, that could go a lot of ways. But I think that the way that I'll take it for this interview and for an audience is to not take yourself too seriously. You know, have fun with your life, have fun with your interactions, be open to laughing at yourself and understanding that life shouldn't be so serious. You should have fun. You should try new things and experiment with things. And sometimes those things may be a quote unquote failure or may not work out exactly how you thought the first time through. But you should definitely keep trying.
Is that something that one should practice at work, playing with oneself?
Absolutely. As long as the health department's not around.
Who was your inspiration?
My work inspiration, I would say, is probably my very first general manager ever. He's a gentleman named Mike Farrar. I still stay in touch with him to this day. He came in for a birthday dinner about 3 months ago, and so in restaurants, you forge bonds with people that you will keep for years and years and years. And so there are still things that he told me when I was 16 years old in my very first job that I still hold true to this day, and I still say back to my staff as well. And so just being able to hold on to those things is dear to me.
What's important, taste or food presentation?
First and foremost, taste. You do eat with your eyes, and the food should look good as well. But if it just looks good and tastes awful, then that's a fail. You know, it should taste good first, and yes, ideally also look good as well. But for me, I would say taste first.
Nicholas, do you consider yourself a lunatic?
Uh, for being in this industry for 21 years, yes. Yes.